All right, so let's go. Nice little thorough review. We only have 3 more of these in the year. That's it. Actually 4. Sorry, we're gonna have a Regents review quiz too. So 4. If I know it's important to some of you, I don't know why, but there's going to be 8 questions on there tomorrow. All right, 32 points. I know they're not 4 points apiece. All right, so you'll have a formula sheet attached. You guys already know the formulas you'll be given: triangle, parallelogram, and circle. The ones you're responsible for in 24 hours: trapezoid, rhombus. We don't do kite anymore. Rhombus. And let me just stop right there with the rhombus formula, just to make sure we're clear on one of the properties of a rhombus. If you don't know now, the area is 1/2 times diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. They are not congruent. That would be called a rectangle if they were congruent. So if one diagonal is mentioned as 10, the other one is not 10. You probably have to find out another way how to find that other diagonal length. So they are not congruent in a rhombus. Sector, population density. Right? If you're not in your packet yet, page 23 of your packet, all these formulas with the exception of population density are on there. All right, so if you want to do that, we can do that right now if you want. Population density equals, anybody remember that bad boy? What's on top? Population, good call, good talk. We're going to do well tomorrow. Over area, land area. Yep. Okay, so there's your population density formula you'll need. Properties of a rhombus that you'll need. I don't need all of them, but anybody remember at least 3 of them probably you'll need for tomorrow? Perpendicular diagonals, because they form right triangles. Diagonals bisect each other. And what about the sides? The sides are all congruent, right? And all this, not what I'm writing, but all this stuff I had originally is up on Classroom already. You can take a look under Unit 11. Be ready to use some trigonometry. And when I say trigonometry, I mean SOHCAHTOA, sine, cosine, tangent. You'll probably, in case it's not a special right triangle, and I mean a 30, 60, 90, 45, 45, 90. Make sure you know your rules. And if it's not one of those, it'll be SOHCAHTOA. This is what we went over yesterday, right? Area and perimeter of similar figures. We just went over the homework. And then composite figure, what do I mean by that? Let me just pop one up here. Review area, there it is. On homework the other night, you had this figure right here. That's called the composite figure. Do I know the formula for the whole thing? Absolutely not, but I can break it up into figures I do know the formula for. So be ready for one of those, composite figure. Anything up here you want to talk about or go into more detail about, or maybe you just had a question that's not up there? Brody?
Are we allowed to use the formulas for like pentagon, hexagon, and octagon?
Yeah, that's it. They're legit. So, anything else? All right. We're going to go over 3 questions as a class right in a minute, but I just want you guys to be aware of the places you could study. There's a whole slew of problems on Delta Math. All right, I just put on today. In your packet, you have a certain amount of questions, and then everyone, can you please go to let's see, sorry, page 26 for me. So there's 11 questions in your packet to try, and at the bottom of page 26 are the textbook questions I'm suggesting. All of those answers are on the following pages in your packet, and then the Delta Math is on there as well. All right, so plenty. I know a lot. I know that seems like overkill, but I know some of you guys are pretty hardcore, and I respect that when you study. So I wanted to make sure you had enough questions to try out. We as a class are going to start with number 7 today in your packet. I don't have number 7 anymore, huh? Get rid of it. All right, take a look at number 7. No. I'll get it up here eventually. There it is, number 7. All right, so make sure you read through all the givens, right? It's a square, 4 quarter circles, equal in size. What's the area of the shaded region? All right, that wasn't a formula I put up that you needed to know. It's just a concept. How do I find the shaded region? I find the area of the whole thing, which you definitely should be able to. Find the area of the whole thing and then subtract out whatever's unshaded, which you should be able to figure as well. All right, so let me turn this over to you guys. What figure? Don't give me the area of it. Don't give me the formula for it. What is this whole figure? It's a 6. It's a square, thank you. So that would be length times width. Minus, what are the unshaded parts? Talk to me. It's in the givens too. 24. Quarter circles, and there's 4 of them. Makes a whole circle. Nice. So I'm going to use pi r squared instead of doing 4 times a quarter times pi r squared. All right, can you help me get these values? What are the length and the width of this square? Look at the diagram. 16, length and width. 6, good. So 6 by 6 minus pi. What's the radius length here? 6. Oh, I didn't hear the first part, Nick. Sorry. 3. Yep. Thank you. 3 square. I didn't hear the first part. All right, so we're good. All right, let's keep going here. I get 36 for the square minus 9 pi for the quarter circles. Go back to the directions, though, in terms of pi. So I need a pi in the answer, which I do. Can you subtract those and combine them and give me 25 pi? What do you think, 25 pi? No, why? Is that the same as 9? No, that's a bigger number than 9. It's 9 times 3.14, so you cannot subtract 36 and the 9 because this number is not 9. All right, it's 9 pi. So we are officially in terms of pi. And heads up, tomorrow there'll probably be a part B and say, hey, I don't know, I want to pave this. And they charge me $3.90 per square inch. How much is it going to cost? All right, so be prepared to do something with your shaded region tomorrow. And remember, if you're unsure, do I divide or multiply by that number? Set up a proportion. All right, set up a proportion. All right, I'm going, I love this next one. I get all fired up. 5. Woo. All right, what topic formula would this fall under now? It's not shaded region. I wouldn't count that as a shaded region. This is a what? Sector. Yep. So if you have to look back on page 23, or maybe you just remember it, can you give me the area of a sector formula so I can start filling this in? What is the area formula for a sector? Ho, 9.
X over 360.
Well, what's the x mean?
The length of the thing. Radius.
No, not even close. No packet today?
I have it.
Okay, page 23. There's all the formulas at the top.
X over 360.
Okay, what's x?
I don't know.
Well, how do I know if I'm going to plug in 6 or x or...
Arc measure.
Thank you, arc measure. And what's the rest of it? Times? All right. They give me this 2 pi up here, which is the area of the shaded sector. So where should I be plugging that 2 pi in for? 16, where's that 2 pi going in? Don't overthink this. Same thing happened last period. What? Just guys, look at the directions. What's the 2 pi? Sector. 2 pi equals arc measure.
X.
I don't know it. Correct. It's going to be part of the problem. Over 360 times pi. Read the givens. How can you get the radius? 25? 3. NL was 6. NL's a diameter. Cut it in half. We get 3 squared. Do you guys see what's in common on both the left and right side of that equation? A pi, right? So it's going to go away. Now, if it's only on one side, I can't do that. All right, I got to work with it. But since it's on both sides, I can cancel out. So cleaning this up, I get 2 equals x over 360 times 9. Your call now. There's 2 different moves I could make. You make one of them. How do I get x by itself at this point? Whew, 28.
Multiply both sides by 360.
You could. We could also divide by 9. Whatever. Float your boat, find your lost remote. Whatever. 9x equals 720. And this is where I get fired up. X equals 80. And this will happen on the Regents exam. Yay! I found x. And look at my x matches one of my choices. So I'm just going to go 4 without even reading the problem. And you just fell into the hole. Deep hole. All right, that's not what I'm looking for here. I know your answer X matches one of the multiple choice, but it doesn't make you a winner. Find angle N. Go back to last unit. What do I call angle N in this circle? Angle N is referred to a 3? Inscribed angle. Kyle, was an inscribed angle always equal to its arc? No, in fact, it was never equal to its arc. So that's why my answer is not 80. What did I need to do to my arc to find the inscribed angle? 27? Take half of it. Yes. So I'm looking at 40 here. All right, don't get all crazy. All right, I know how it works. You find x and you're so proud of yourself. Not in this case. Oh, one more? Sure. Number 1. All right, what's the area of the regular hexagon? If you want to be that guy and memorize the formula, or that girl and memorize the formula, go right ahead. I actually have a light, so I'm going to use the formula I'm familiar with. No offense, Brody. There's others in this class that are going to take that way. 1/2 BH times the 6 triangles I would get if I drew in all the radii. All right, so go ahead, draw in those. At least draw in one. I wouldn't draw in all 6 to confuse yourself, but go ahead, draw in one of those triangles that will find the area. There it is. Is there something you already know about that triangle? I think so. What do you already know about that triangle? 2?
That the radii are congruent.
Yep. Looking for more.
The base is 18.
Thank you. Base is 18 because all the sides are 18. All right. Now you're going to let me help me find that height now. How do I find that height? This bad boy right here. Well, what did I just do to the 18? Bisect it. Thank you for everyone saying bisect and not cut it in half. We have a big boy, big girl award for that. I don't know why I put 18. How about 9? All right. I don't care how good you've been this year. You can't use PyFag. This is not 30, 60, 45, 45 yet. And I can't use SOHCAHTOA. There's nothing I've shown you with right triangles you can use unless you have a degree measure here. I need help. Find a degree. Can you find a degree measure inside that triangle? First thing I always start with is, how about the angle formed by the 2 radii? Get that angle. And then we can talk. How do I get that angle formed by the 2 radii? 8?
360 divided by 6.
Yep, 360 in this case, since it's a hexagon 6. So that angle 60, and also what's the height doing to that one? Bisecting it. So now I'm pretty confident we're working with the 30, 60, 90. So now it's, do I know my rules or not? Could you do sine, cosine, tangent? Yes, but you better hope the directions are in simplest radical form. Right? But like in this case, it says nearest 10th, so you could get away with doing sine, cosine, tangent if you forgot your rules, but we are in an honors level, right? Highly doubtful tomorrow. I'll have it nearest 10th, probably simplest radical form. So why don't we do it that way? Where's the 9? Shorter leg, Longer leg or hypotenuse, the 9. Hey, 14. Shorter, longer, or the hypotenuse?
Shorter.
Why?
It's across the 30.
Thank you. And the height I'm looking for is the what leg? 27? Longer. All right, so how do I go from longer to shorter? Sorry, shorter to longer. I have the shorter 9, need the longer. How do I go there? What's the rule? Oh, 27 again. There's the height. And yes, it says nearest 10th, so you can plug it all in. But what about tomorrow if it says leave your answer in simplest radical form? What's going to be in my answer? Radical 3. And then with the radical 3 will be 1/2 times 18 times 9 times 6, that value. Which I believe, I'm going to try this. 81 and let's see, that's going to give me 81 and 6. 486. Gets calculator, human calculator. Questions there? A lot of different places to prepare. All right, a lot of different places. Remember, textbook and packet answers are in the back. All right. And then you also have Delta Math to work with. So you got about half the class to pick your poison. You can ask people questions in your group, but please don't go group to group. All right, let's lock in. Here we go. Scratch and sniff sticker on the line.